Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at Diamantis GR's Aggro Hunter or Face Hunter, a deck that we've certainly played heaps and heaps and heaps of throughout this expansion, throughout many other expansions before. We've checked it out for our budget deck series, of course, but Hunter, as you've probably seen if you've spent any time on the ladder over the last while, Hunter is in one of the best positions that it's ever been in, with a bunch of different decks. Most notably in the last month or so, we've had a lot of people working with Master's Call and Dire Frenzy, and it's really given a lot of these aggressive hunter decks a lot of late game. However, Diamantis instead is going for a bit of the old school, much more aggressive deck. Instead of those aforementioned cards, we've got the Bear Shark and Houndmaster combination, which is a really high tempo play. So, you know, when whilst Master's Call is very, very low tempo, you're spending your 3-drop slot to just kind of do nothing except set yourself up for a later game. Instead, this Aggro Hunter deck is deploying Bear Sharks, which is a fantastic body, hard to remove, and if your opponent doesn't do anything about it, you get the awesome tempo play of Houndmaster, which can absolutely destroy your opponent. It can really set yourself up to win the game over the next couple of turns, just because these cards are so hard to remove and the Bear Shark's hitting so hard. It's fantastic. We've also got the 2-drop, the 1-2 punch, as we always call it. We've got the 1-drops of Diamol, Springpaw, and Timberwolf is the third 1-drop here. And the 2-drop punch of Crackling Razormaw to adapt one of these beasts, hopefully once again, bit more of a tempo play, take the attack, you know, put your opponent on the back foot, make them have to react. We've also got Headhunter's Hatchet, which is fantastic in a lot of these aggro mirrors, these minion mirrors, very good against Odd Paladin, very good against opposing hunter decks, and I really, really like that. So that's kind of what we've got going on there. That's what makes it different to a lot of the other hunter decks that we've covered lately. The other thing that I wanted to point out here is we've got this really interesting 5-drop slot. We've got 4 5-drops. Now, Leroy is pretty ubiquitous within the 5-drop slot for Hunter, but we've definitely seen decks with 2 Baited Arrows, we've seen decks with 2 Bittertide Hydras, seen a lot of decks with 2 Tundra Rhinos, but I haven't really seen too many decks that just have this 1-1-1 selection, very varied kind of threats. So I think that's something that we want to keep an eye on, is just how good these 5-drops are. Is one of them maybe lacking in certain areas? Because they all do provide us with something a little extra, you know. Bittertide Hydra is just a big clock. Tundra Rhino is kind of a must-answer threat, lest you know, we start popping out flanking strikes and things like that. And Baited Arrow gives us a little bit of reach, but also a little bit more control. So very flexible there. So regardless, we'll jump into some games. Of course, if you are watching on YouTube, all the links are in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone deck article. If you would please jump over there, give Diamantis a +1 on the deck. And without further ado, let's play some games. Alright, here we are with Diamantis' Aggro Hunter. Definitely going to keep one of these Diamols. Probably the best 1-drop up against a mage. That's kind of one of the disadvantages of the deck at the moment, is that outside of Diamol, your other 1-drops are pretty weak in the early game. Oh, even a Scab. Fantastic. Let's keep the aggression on. We might need this Ironbeak Owl to push that last damage through, so I'm just going to go for the Hero Power here. If our opponent wants to use this turn to Hero Power this, I think we're fine with that. We get to Houndmaster, hit up the Diamol. Ooh. Okay, that's something we can do potentially next turn. Never understood the difference between aggro and tempo decks. It's a pretty fine line. I think that the big thing with tempo decks is oftentimes they're trying to focus on a very specific point in the game, or trying to get a lot of value condensed into a couple of turns. The best example is the ooh, I think we'll just go Bittertide Hydra here. The best example is Tempo Mage, particularly Secret Mage with Kirin Tor Mage, Kirin Tor Secret Man, as that puts a lot of focus around your kind of 3-drop slot. You know, you're able to deploy 6 mana worth of things within a turn. No way that's Vaporize, right? No way that's Vaporize, right? Okay. So we got pretty lucky. That was the ideal, the 2 ideal adapts. So a little bit lucky there, but I think we would have been able to push through regardless. Like, we had Leroy, we had Rexar as well. Other than losing that 3-drop where turn 3 rather, where we just hero powered instead of deploying a threat. I think we had a really good curve. We had a lot of options as well with that Iron Beak Owl. So I think that just kind of goes to show you one of the advantages of playing this version of Hunter over the Master's Call version of Hunter, where we were just able to consistently keep pressure on our opponent. And you know, all it took was them stumbling once with that Dragon's Fury and hitting a 4 rather than a 5, and the game was over. So GG's. Alright, here we are up against the Warlock, and we've got an interesting hand here. I think we'll keep the Diamol and these 2 2-drops. If our opponent doesn't have an answer for the Diamol, we've got the Crackling Razor Maul. If they do, we can set up the Scav. I think we want to try and draw a card like Bear Shark, or potentially one of our 4s, because we do have the coin. Okay. Looks like we might be going 1-drop, 2-drop, 2 2-drops. Discard Warlock. Okay. Flanking Strike. Actually not too unhappy with this. I think this gives us a nice option. He take book. So I think we'll go for the Scav here. We're going to have this 1/1 Diamol. We can potentially try and poison it up or trade in. We do... one thing we do have to be concerned about is if our opponent is playing a card like Shriek. Could goof us. The other thing is if our opponent's playing Hellfire. Or Defile for that matter. Tough.
Move now.
I was hoping to hit health there. I think if we had hit health, we would have been in a good position. In fact, knowing that, we should have taken +1/+1 on the first adapt, if we knew that we were going to go for the second adapt. god, I'm just realizing I'm out of SIGs and it's 340. Well, they did have the Shriek. So they were kind of baiting us into a bigger Shriek. Yeah, definitely go flip a bed. It's a rough sitch to be in. I think we'll just go for the flanking strike here. Our opponent to 16, so no Hooked Reaver shenanigans this turn. Now this last 16 health is might be a bit difficult. Indeed. Surprised we haven't seen any Reckless Dire Trolls or anything like that. Alright. Never mind, our opponent has finished their quest. They will not be casting it this turn. I think we should have them. With the Leroy as well. Hit them for 10, then we've got Diamol, Kill Command. Or we can just kill them this turn. That's also pretty good. So lucky draw, but I think we have it. Our opponent would have to have, you know, some very good heal next turn, and given that they just discarded their hand, I can't imagine they'd have a powered up Spellstone or anything like that, so GG's.
Might of the elves.
Okay, up against the mage here. Very much considering sending these 3 back and trying to hit one of our 1-drops. However, given that it is mage, our only good 1-drop is Diamol, especially on the draw, on the coin. So I think we'll keep the Scav. Sucks to send back the Bear Shark. Oh, okay, there we go. Better lucky than good. Waygate! Oh my gosh, Quest City. Everyone wants to get these, everyone wants to play some Quest games before it goes away. No whammies, please. So we could go like Hyena, Coin, Hatchet, trade, use the Hatchet, trade the Razor Maul. Could also go for the Kill Command, but I think we're going to be wanting to save that. Another day. Also got the Unleash the Hounds in case our opponent does have a couple of dudes. Hounds Tinder to weaponize Pinata. I think we might just go face. We might just Houndmaster this Diamol, face it up.
I'll let the dogs
Job done.
Forces our opponent to, even if they do, if they are planning on like trading in. We've still got the Scavenging Hyena. Get buffed up. We've got the kill command here, so that would be GG, friends. Got him. Not sure what our opponent was trying to do there, but yeah, spending a turn, setting up that quest, setting up those arcane tomes. This is the exact deck that a aggressive hunter like this wants to play in. Definitely, probably the reason that a lot of decks like this get that reputation for being kind of anti-fun and a bit brainless, because it just looked like all we did was vomit things onto the board and kill our opponent. But yeah, take a look at the deck. Honestly, I think the deck's fantastic. We didn't get to see really much of a difference between the Bittertide Hydra, the Baited Arrow, and Tundra Rhino, as we were really just drawing that that top half of our deck. But I was super surprised with Bittertide Hydra. Obviously, the massive body really helped out, but it is a bit weak if we do face a lot of odd paladins and things like that. So I think if you were going to be taking this deck onto the ladder, just keep in mind that you might have to switch things around based off of what you're seeing. If you are seeing a bit more odd paladin, maybe consider taking the extra Baited Arrow or the extra Tundra Rhino or something like that. The other thing that I do just want to say is with the 1-drop selection, I'm not a big fan of Timberwolf. I do prefer the Jeweled Macaw. Firstly, just because, you know, Jeweled Macaw is going to rotate soon, got to get some value out of that, especially if we've got a golden one. But also, I think that Timbermaw is such a liability in the early game, considering we saw a bunch of mages and things like that, a bunch of Kobold librarians. You don't really just want to be trading this off or just running it into the hero power, whereas at least if you do trade this off or run Jeweled Macaw into the hero power, you're getting a little bit of an advantage, maybe filling out your curve and things like that, potentially you know, high rolling as well. So just another thing to consider if you do find that the 1-drop selection here is kind of sucking a bit against the decks that you're facing. Regardless, big shout out to Diamantis GR for the deck. If you are watching on YouTube, of course, all the links are in the description, including a link over to the Hearthpwn deck article. Please jump over there, leave a +1, leave a lovely thoughtful comment like I know you will. And until next time, please stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and yeah, I guess just kill them. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.